Okay, can you guys hear me okay? There's just a couple of us in here. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Okay, yes, good. KCRA. First of all, let me tell everyone hi. I don't like to do a lot of last minute lives. This had to be done. Mama Sita, hello. Nana Barb, Mary Glick, JD. I'm a little muffled. JPL said I'm muffled. Mike Talk Show, hello. Emmy, it's quiet. Hang on, let me get out and get back in. Mm. Did it connect now? Hello? Hello? Okay. Ooh, sorry about that. I couldn't get my mic to work. Now it's working. Then it wouldn't connect to me at all. That's okay. It just kept saying device not connected. KCRA said this has been ruled an accident. Hold on. Hi, Tammy. Yeah, exactly. Adventures of Purpose. Bring on the tapes. They said that they had a feeling that this was going to happen. They said they had a feeling this was going to happen. And that then they would release their, I guess they're 90%. So let me read through this real quick. Kiely Rodni's death is ruled accidental.
Kiely Rodni has been officially identified as the person whose body was found along with her SUV at Prosser Creek Reservoir. The Nevada County Sheriff Coroner said today that autopsy results confirm the identity of the 16-year-old from Truckee. Rodni was last seen on August 6th at a party with hundreds of other teens at the Prosser Family Campground in Truckee, which is next to that reservoir. Authorities say the last known ping from her cell phone also came from near that reservoir.
Hello to you, meteorologist Eileen Jabor in the Weather Center on this Monday.
That's all we wanted to hear. All right, so the 2-week-long search for Rodni sparked national coverage and ended in August after her body was found along with her car at Prosser Creek Reservoir in Truckee. Rodni's death was the result of drowning, the Nevada County Sheriff's Office Coroner's Division found. So, no drugs? Hello, Lupus.
Hello.
Hi, welcome. Never got to talk to you before.
I am Proud Creek Squad in the chat.
Well, I
Proud Creek
cannot
Squad
believe
in the
that
chat.
it took over 2 months to rule this a drowning. Wouldn't they know that it was a drowning?
All I'm asking is AWP, you told us you would give us the other 90%. Now we want the other 90% because our minds are in 100 different places. So I think as subscribers and members and so on, so on. You told us you would give us the 90%. Now we're looking for the other 90%.
Yes.
That's all I want to say. And I just want to pray over everybody that's in the chat. I pray over you mentally, physically, and spiritually and emotionally. And I pray that God's will is over all of this. And AWP, we're asking, and everybody go to their channel and go into their last video that they just did and say, look, we're waiting for the other 90% that you told us you'd give us. And that's all I want to say.
Well, what about the talk screen? They just said it was ruled a drowning.
I don't think that that's enough. And they know that that's enough. They know that that is not enough. Okay, you said it was drowning. Well, we want to know what was in the bloodstream. Is the bloodstream clear? You also put on there uh, unknown about pregnancy, which I don't think she was pregnant, but still, you put on unknown on there. Did you do a test? Did you make sure of that? Uh, Dad, I have seen you, the biological dad. I have seen you. I have seen you reach out in many chats wanting information.
Mm-hmm.
You need, if you want us that are backing you, come forward. We will back you for justice for Kylie. We will do whatever it takes. Everybody that is wanting justice for Kylie Rodni will back you. Just come out to the bigger channels so that we can see you and others can see you. We can say that you're in these channels and you're doing that, but we need you to come out. I've seen you. Just come out. We will back you. We will help you. AWP, I believe that granddad and the biological father is owed the other 90%. If you haven't give it to them, they're owed that 90%.
Yes.
We're owed that 90% because of the way that you told us in the 10% that we seen and how you said it and said that there's more and you wouldn't release it until you seen what they came with. Okay, you knew that we were going to come to this. Even you yourself said it. They're probably going to rule it as an accident, but we took it that you would not stop there. So we need you to come forward and God be the glory. He's going to make a way. Where there's a will, a way, he is going to make a way that justice is for this little girl, or this is going to keep happening.
Well, somebody then lied. Somebody then lied because somebody would have had to have seen her leave from that party, whether there was 5, 10, 15, 50, 100, 200.
Thank you. Thank you.
Somebody would have had to have seen her. That's the whole reason I got into this, because her mother said, my daughter left a party and no, she's missing and no one saw her leave.
Okay, look at it like this. Okay, everybody wants to know who Sammy left with, who everybody left with. Okay, well, FBI, TBI, whatever, all the law enforcement. Y'all went out there and y'all looked and y'all did not find her. Who did she leave with? Tell us who she left with.
Mm-hmm.
Because if she wasn't there and y'all went and searched and that's what y'all told us, then she must have left with somebody. So how did she get back there? Explain to us how you had all those people out there running over the top of her car that we could see from the sky and you missed her. Explain that to us. You want us to go away. Well, these are the things that you're not explaining. You're beating around the bush with it. And I'm sick of it. You think we're going to go away. We're not. We're not going away.
Well, why is this coming out today? Debbie, I see you, hun. I see you, beautiful. I'll put you up now. Hang on. All right. So why did this come out today on a Thursday? What's going on? Just out of the blue, KCRA drops this. We were already prepared for them to say an accident. And if it's an accident, God bless her. Why all of this? Why Why could this have not been cleared up from the beginning? Why were we led on this wild goose chase about hoodies, belly button rings, necklaces? Nobody saw her leave. Nobody saw her leave. We know that
Her
could not.
her keys, the main thing, and her cell phone.
Yep.
Who has the cell phone? Where are her keys? That was on the board that Sammy was looking for. Explain to us. This does not make sense.
Nope. How are you doing, Debbie?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing today?
Well, I'm upset, but I'm not upset as your other panel guest. I just wanted to say what I understood Adventures with Purpose to say, and please somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I believe they said they had more of the interview with the tow truck guy and more of the interview with Dad and Grandpa. Mm-hmm. I don't think they had more information. And I also heard them say that if it was ruled an accident, they would accept that. Mm-hmm. Not that they would believe it. And they do believe it was foul play. I know that.
So why would they say not that they would believe it?
Well, I guess I mean, I guess there's really nothing they can do about it. So they say, if that's what it turns out to be, they'll accept it. But the other thing I understood them to say, and again, please correct me if I'm wrong, that they were not going to release the footage of the rest of the interviews unless there's an arrest made. Now, I felt that I watched that video several times, and that's what I came away with. But if I'm wrong, just please tell me. So basically what I'm saying is I don't think we're going to hear from AWP. But I hope
the fur babies don't agree.
Who don't agree?
The fur babies. When you said that, they went to barking and growling.
Okay. Well, my fur baby did a little bark too. Let's see what the chat's saying. I hear somebody said that's what she heard.
Well, I mean, AWP, they're not in charge of an investigation per se, but if they are holding all of this, and I certainly do not want to paint them out to be bad people at all.
Me either.
They went and they did what they said they were going to do or tried to do. They found Kiely Rodni. I have a very big problem with an entire week of press conferences, team-to-team meetings, community meetings, talks of an abduction. Yes, some people say that was never talked about. Yes, there was talk of an abduction. There was, all kinds of insanity going on. She was wearing a Lana Del Rey hoodie. She was wearing this white hoodie with the pink letters on it. If anyone has seen this jewelry, somebody knows something. Somebody knows something. If you're thinking it, so are we. One thing after another. So if you thought it was an accident, why didn't you just start it that way? She has had an accident. We're looking for her car. You're in the Lake Tahoe region. People go missing in that damn lake all the time. People go missing in that lake all the time. Her mother pleading to social media behind a GoFundMe. My daughter left a party last night. She is missing. She is missing. Nobody saw her leave. Don't even get me going on all the insanity of Sammy.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure. That was bad. I felt that from the very first interview she gave.
All of this secret stuff. We'll talk one-on-one and nobody's going to get in trouble. So we're all thinking, what the hell's really going on around there? What are they covering up? Is this all about covering up a bunch of damn kids drinking? Because no one gave a shit.
Exactly. And the other thing is, if it was just an accident, why did it take them so long to come out and say this?
Drowning?
She could have drowned if it was foul play, for sure.
A first day medical student could have figured that one out.
Yeah.
You're telling me, and they released this today, there will be no conference on November 1st, guys.
I don't know if there's going to be a conference at all. What do you think?
Nope, this is done. They had their Truckee Way meeting. I believe it was Tuesday night. It was on YouTube. Weird stuff going on. Plus, we had the whole fire cam stuff going on last week.
Yeah, that's another thing. Why 1 week after that are we hearing this?
Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
Jagger erupting again at AWP. He kept saying over and over, basically, you show me yours, I'll show you mine. That's what he kept saying.
Yeah.
Why won't these guys get a hold of me? Well, because some people have what's called a JOB, JAG.
Oh, boy.
Jag off. Some of us have stuff to do. I'm going to put the link up.
I'm kind of speechless. I just wanted to say what I understood AWP to say. I hope I'm wrong, because I really would like to see their footage.
They said that they would put it out. I don't remember. If somebody could correct me, tell me what's going on, how exactly they said it, because I caught it specifically. Excuse me, I keep coughing and sneezing. On Chris McDonough's show, when they said it's probably going to be ruled an accident, people are going to be upset. You know what? Let me just find McDonough's show. Hang on. Wouldn't that be easier than me talking out my ass? Just washed a mud mask off my face too, so I'm wired for sound.
Uh-oh.
Hang on, where'd it go? Interview room. It'd be about right here. Let's see. Denise, beautiful, your camera's on. Let me take down the report to Sammy thing. Tracy said 2 cars, not one. The footage shows Kiely going in the water and then watch across the way. I don't know where the hell that came from. Who's backstage? I just see Denise. All right, hang on.
Questions over here. And I just want to nip it in the bud. I just want to nip it in the bud. And you know, as far as Kylie's car coming out, okay, good. We were asked to leave the scene. We were not consulted, and we had nothing to do with the car coming out, as you guys know. We were spectators at that point. Did things go wrong? Obviously, things went horribly wrong. But with the knowledge and expertise that they have, they did what they could do. You know, they don't do this every day. We deal with cars underwater almost every day. So when you take us and compare to them in that situation, obviously it's not apples to apples. It's far from it. And it's a learning experience for them as well. You know, there was a lot of mistakes that have been made, and they've rectified them. They've learned from them. They see the solutions to those mistakes moving forward. And it's unfortunate, but the answer is no. We had nothing to do with the car coming out. If it was us, we would have our you know, motivation coming into this would have been containing evidence and the integrity of the crime scene, you know, sealing up the windows, removing evidence out prior to sealing up the windows, and removing the vehicle just the way it's sat. You know, the importance of that contains the evidence. You know, we're working with a vehicle that has no current, a lot of visibility. It's really the most ideal conditions for anything like this. The car should have came out right on its roof, But that's easy to say in hindsight. And also we're kind of experts at it. It's easy for us to take that stance. The people that were there don't do this all the time. Should they know? Absolutely. They should know these things. I really wish we would have been consulted on this, because all the other agencies that we work with, they use us to command these operations, and you see it on all the YouTube videos, and or at least use us as consultants on how it should be done. And it's really important because we're a great resource. It's just that this case was the moment there was very big. So they had to contain the scene. If you're not law enforcement, unfortunately, you cannot stay inside of the scene. That's never going to happen. It's very rare when you have CHP, FBI, and 4 other state agencies on a scene. You're not going to, unfortunately, have civilians that are allowed within that perimeter. I mean, that. Like, that's rare. So that's why that happened the way it did. And like I said, no, the answer is no. We had nothing to do with that. Really wish we had.
That keeps you out of court too.
It does.
Well, that keeps you out of court too. That was funny, Chris. So he's naming all of these different agencies. Why do you have all of that? And don't give me blonde hair, blue eye. I'm so sick of the Nicole Brown Simpson metaphor going around in these true crime cases. It's ridiculous. Why do you have that type of law enforcement for an accident? KCRA said this was ruled a drowning.
Wow. There's a commenter, Shay44. She's saying the same thing that I said.
Okay, what is it? You may have to say it again.
That they would only release the rest of the footage if there was an arrest made. We are not going to see it. They said it will be ruled an accident, but they won't believe it.
Okay, well, then I heard it the wrong way. I thought they said they were going to release it if it's ruled an accident and they're prepared for that or something like that. Because if there was an arrest made, there'd be no reason to release it because they're pursuing it as criminal. Denise, beautiful. I see you. You're going to turn your camera off. They say it's coming up. Hang on.
It does.
Right?
I
mean, that's the Reader's Digest version. And, in some agencies, we'll get through that. But so this one is about your window breakers, laminate or tempered glass. Clarify. And then I have this comment here. Emergency window breakers. Tell everybody where they can get those. I know you guys have had them up in your merch.
Yeah.
Over there. Tell them what it does. And by the way, they got a great video that could save your life. So get over there and watch that too.
Check that video out. Our window breaker episode that we came out with about 8 months ago. It's a really informative video on what you need to do in the situation of an emergency in order to get out of a vehicle. And it's really important information. Tempered and laminated glass. Those are 2 of the most common types of glass that are on vehicles. Laminated glass is really hard to break. It's going to hold up. It's going to stick together. It's really hard to use per se. It's just our window breakers on laminated glass. They still can work. It just takes a lot more to break a laminated glass. You always want to go for your tempered glass. The tempered glass is actually designed to just explode. So I believe it's 2016, 2017 or newer? Most of the vehicles have laminated glass on them. And that is also designed to stop people from being ejected out of vehicles in car accidents, because on older vehicles, it's really easy for people to get ejected out when it's just tempered glass. So you want to make sure, and all your windows have a little decal, a little emblem in the corner of them that will let you know tempered or laminated. Go to your vehicle, identify on your vehicle which windows are laminated, which windows are tempered. Always go for your tempered windows where you have them. And as far as where you can get a window breaker, awpwindowbreaker.com. awpwindowbreaker.com. That's where you can get our window breakers. Right now they are on that site, not the Adventures with Purpose site where you can find our hats and the magnets and shirts and sweaters and stuff like that. And all of this stuff helps us do what we do. You know, it's a small give back to the community. You can rep our hat. You can rep the sweatshirt here or whatever it is.
Oh dear God, hang on. Where's the Q&A?
We also, you know, we're out there doing something that nobody else.
You're going to get the most scent that is going to start floating up. And a lot of times you can run a dog in a boat over a geographic region, but it doesn't necessarily mean that depends on, you know, where the victim is in a vehicle. It doesn't mean necessarily that they're always going to hit on a human remains. You guys, what's your thought process on that?
Yeah, you know, it's hit or miss with cadaver dogs around water. There's a lot that they can do. There's a lot that they can't do. There's also the aspect of
he's way down there.
Water always giving off a false signal because there's a lot of those compounds.
Go ahead, Denise. I'm glad you came up. You've been on
Okay. I wanted to say that if you Google, I know that Tyler Feller talked to a reporter, and if you Google, it'll pop up any new news on Kiely. It'll pop up that girl showing Tyler Feller talking to the reporter. Then the next one will be Tyler Feller. There's nothing new on the actual news as far as law enforcement talking to the news. It's all Tyler Feller.
What are you talking about, Tyler Feller? I'm not talking about Tyler Feller. Casey,
I know. He talked to a reporter and said he had new news and gave them that information of the video and all that.
What video?
The one where the car's going in from the fire camera, everything.
Oh, I don't care about that. I'm talking about KCRA came out today and said it was ruled an accident. Nevada said it was
that's only from Tyler Feller showing them that video that he got it from SF.
Now,
that SF supposedly got from that H guy.
What?
Yeah, it was released on Tyler Feller's, and one of the mods that's no longer a mod because she was blocked for sharing that video is how that video came about.
Denise,
the one with the fire cam?
Denise, honey, that's a website anybody can access. It's
I understand, but it was released on Tyler Feller's from SF, and SF supposedly got it from that H guy that was a wildlife, and that's how it came about to begin with.
Oh well, whatever, because that video you.
But if you Google any new news on,
you can't see a Honda CRV, and you certainly can't rule it a drowning from that video. I don't have to Google anything. I'm not going to Google Tyler Feller anyway. It popped up on everybody's Google notifications. Kiely Rodni ruled an accident.
But it shows that Tyler Feller talked to this reporter, and this reporter's saying it's an accident because she talked to Tyler Feller. Any new news, and it'll show you where the information came from.
Listen, this said it came from Nevada County, not Tyler Feller.
But it came, what I just Googled, when I seen it show up, it all says Tyler Feller's name underneath it.
I don't see that. But anyway, hang on, I got to find this.
So,
well, I'm just saying.
Well, Tyler Feller can't do autopsies.
No, but the law didn't come out and say what their findings is. We're supposed to know that on the first. We're supposed to hear.
I just read the article.
And that lady's the reporter that talked to Tyler Feller.
That lady didn't do an autopsy either. Nevada County said this is an autopsy.
I just know that that lady that's been covering it talked to Tyler Feller, and then this information came out. The cops have not said it.
I'll tell you what, if
the cops have not said it yet.
In my chat, boy, I tell you what. Hang on one second. I got to find this where they talk about when they're going to release this, Denise.
Hands on it and push it, you wouldn't be able to tell.
The Q&A they did at the end. Waiting for Tyler Feller to jump up in this.
To complete it, which was the car and finding Kiely. And, you know, I have full faith that they're going to do a good job now that they have those things. I know a lot of people have not. I really doubt it.
Could have been, yes.
It could have been.
Do we think it was?
It says that we're still supposed to have
that car. Now, if the car was put there by a foul play by a murderer in the very beginning, yes, it could have been planted there by the person who did it. As far as out there, so the stuff that's going around on the representative that was in our video, the roadside assistance guys, 1,000 not accurate. The person they're talking about is not even the same person. He's not a private investigator. All of this stuff is completely false. I don't even know where it comes from, and I hate to laugh. It's just that crazy. So all of that stuff has caught on like a fire. 1,000% absolutely not true. Not even close. That stuff needs to go away. It's not.
And same, could the car have been planted, right?
Yeah. Could the car have been planted? I mean, I doubt it. I really doubt it.
Could have been, yes.
It could have
Do
been.
we think it was?
I doubt it. I really do doubt that car. Now, if the car was put there by a foul play, by a murderer in the very beginning, yes, it could have been planted there by the person who did it. As far as afterward, like some people think, like, okay, it was searched, nobody found it, and then it ended up there. A lot of people think that it was put in there after the fact. That's highly unlikely.
So here's a good comment. Stand tall, Doug. We support you, and no internet madness happens.
Oh yeah, we
You want to start a club? Well, you want to start a club? We'll get jackets.
Yeah.
We're
guys
not popular.
You're true heroes. Here, Liz, you guys are true heroes. We all know you stand where you stand. Ellie goes another way. You will still release the findings. You know what? Let's wait and see what they say, and let's wait and see what AWP says.
So we've released as much as we can in order to remain professional. What we've done is found the where. We've delivered them the necessary portion of their investigation to complete it, which was the car and finding Kiely. And I have full faith that they're going to do a good job now that they have those things. I know a lot of people have not said good things about them because of the way things have done. However, that all that's over with. They have what they need. They've gathered themselves, and I have full faith that they'll get to the bottom of it.
So this one here, obviously.
Yeah, so don't go to our website for the window breakers.
Oh, God, not the window breakers again.
Don't go to adventureswithpurpose.com unless you want a magnet, a t-shirt, a hat, or a sweatshirt. For a window breaker, you have to go to awpwindowbreaker.com. If any of the mods or anybody in here can put that in the chat or comment, that would be great. So everybody has that. It's different. We had a complication with our website, so there's another site that we have that's up now, so everybody can get one of those life-saving tools.
Okay, so we've got a couple more here.
I'm going to jump down off here. I just want to let you know that the reporter talked to, and at the end you'll see where it says Tyler Feller.
You are Tyler Feller's #1 fan, I'm taking.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I cannot stand the guy that thinks that every crime, you can come up with new information every week and charge somebody. When I just went through stopping a serial killer in the making on my case.
Okay.
So
Well,
I can't stand a guy that thinks that he needs to play with people's emotions, and I can't stand that he needs to play with this case and make money off of it.
well,
But if you watch that reporter's news all the way to the end, you'll find out it came from Tyler, this guy that thinks this is a game.
okay. Well, I actually like Tyler Feller. I think he's a super cool guy. I like his show, the whole 9 yards. And I hate talking about creators around here. I hate it.
I'm just saying, you don't come up with new evidence every week just to charge people on somebody's death. That's not a joke to me. When my man was just murdered and stabbed 48 times and nearly decapitated. And I just went through trial. So no, you don't play with people's emotions. That's wrong altogether. That's all I'm saying.
I don't want anyone to pop into this chat and think this is what gets me in trouble when people talk about other creators on here.
Well, I don't want to talk about him, but I'm telling you, he talked to this reporter and it states it at the end of this video. That's all I'm saying. Why is he going around talking if he's just a creator?
Okay. Well, the
That's
article,
my main question.
Denise, the article that we're having the show about, and I'm just trying to find this part within the interview room. I appreciate everyone being patient with me, trying to find.
But
where
AWP is doing right by holding back their.
Can't get a word in edgewise. I'm just trying to find something in. I'm trying to find it in the interview room or Adventures with Purpose where they explain when they're going to release this tape. I know it's in here somewhere, but anyway, the article I'm referring to is the one that just came out on KCRA. Kiely Rodni, okay, it's ruled an accident. It does not mention Tyler Feller. It does not mention Tyler Feller. I promise you, Denise. I swear on Tyler Feller, it does not mention Tyler Feller.
Okay, I promise you it does. Have a good day.
All right, damn it. Give me a second. Go ahead, Debbie.
The roadside assistance vehicle. Yes, law enforcement has identified that. They are working. They have done their job and are working on it. But obviously, those types of it's an open investigation, so we can't disclose anything else on that, and nor is law enforcement going to at this point.
Yeah, there's a whole investigative process taking place behind the scenes, guys and gals. I mean, this is why I've stayed out of this until today. Mm-hmm. Really, I mean, this is the first time, I reached out to Jared and said, hey, let's connect here and put some sanity out there. And that's what we're doing right now. And, these guys, if you're just joining us, in my opinion, the AWP did everything just right. 100%. We can critique, whether or not, folks feel that they've done, or Ellie or whoever's done something different. Well, you know what? I've worked well over 300 murders in my career and almost 500 death investigations. And every single one of them has dynamics that are constantly in flux and moving. So this is one of these situations, and everything they did from my perspective, I'm hoping that Ellie will have them more and more, which they are. Law enforcement's embracing them all over the country. But now we need to, just kind of think about the family, think about, Kylie's mom, think about Kylie's dad, grandfather, everybody, and just kind of, take a deep breath and let's see where this thing goes, and let the authorities do what they need to do. And AWP's off already, looking for, Jalissa Fuentes. We don't want to lose, sight of what, she's out there. We need to help find her. She's been missing, and, and so we need to focus on that too. And I'm going to put some flyers up and stuff on, her case. And I'm going to stay, very close to these guys on this situation as a whole. I got a couple more questions here I'm going to put up here. Nick, this one here was that was very respectful, more of a comment, and thank you very much, Angela. I totally agree with you, and Nick's a good Army guy. So he's a vet, so we love this guy, and we love Doug too. I mean, he's the kind of guy I would say, what kind of glass is that? And he'd go, Chris, don't hit it with that, you idiot. We don't want to break it that way. Okay, show me how to break it. So we all have our skills, and I know everybody has been 1,000,000% behind you guys. I hope you get 10 million viewers, not just 2 subscribers. I hope you get 10 million, if not more. Okay? Because what you are doing and what Jared is doing, now that you guys got 2 teams going into different directions, 2 wraps, we need to get 2 airstreams from Jackson, Ohio.
Yeah, I heard Mark Wahlberg owns an Airstream dealer in Ohio.
Really?
And he's a good Boston boy.
Yeah, I love Boston.
Okay, guys, we need to get hold of Mark. Hit him up.
Well, actually, on this trip, we're actually going to be working a couple cases in Massachusetts too, as well. We're going to be all across the country.
There you go. Okay, so he's gonna. Maybe we can get somebody to kick up a couple of Airstreams here for these guys and wrap them. Now, you know, it's good stuff. You're doing a great stuff. Okay, so hang on for a minute. I got a couple more, and then here's what I do. I've had you guys here almost 2 hours, and I know that's a lot of time. And I appreciate it. I think we already answered this one, right? The tire was flat. Didn't you answer this, Nick?
Yeah, we answered that one.
Okay, a super sticker. Thank you so much, Mujeeb. We appreciate you so much. It was fascinating.
Yeah, guys, sorry. This is from the interview room. This was a few weeks ago. I'm trying to find in this interview, because I just threw this together. All right. I didn't prepare anything because the article just came out saying that this was ruled an accident. So I'm trying to find their statement where they explain when, if, how they're going to release the rest of the video. So I apologize. It might take me a minute. I can't remember what mark it's at. I'm almost at the end of the video. And I don't think there's going to be a tweet. I don't think there's going to be anything like that. I think they had KCRA release it for them. Let's go through the article real quick. And then I swear I'll mute myself, let you guys talk, and I'll find it because it's going to bug me now. It's definitely going to bug me. This is just ridiculous.
I think I didn't actually watch Chris's interview with them because it was not, well, anyway, regardless. I saw Jared say it on his first interview with Zap Girl.
Well, I mean, they say that they have video. Let's just put it this way, because they've given many, many interviews. One isn't going to seal the deal. I'm still going to find it, though, because it's going to drive me crazy.
Okay.
We agree to disagree around here. We agree to disagree. That's just how it goes. Nothing to argue about. We're on the same page. Just that the truth is told about Kiely, right?
Right.
Whatever that truth might be, just that the truth is told. So if you show 10%, which has been said in all of these interviews, that's just 10%. That's just 10%. There's way more. There's way more.
Right.
So however it was phrased, we know that there's 90% more that is more jaw-dropping than what we have seen. Whether you saw it through the membership or you saw it when it was released to the public, doesn't matter. So are they going to release it or not? I don't know, because from what my understanding is, and I did not hear this on Tyler Feller's channel, is that it was going to be, it would negate an accident. Let me put it that way.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
All right. So
Monday.
There's the weather girl again. All right. So it says authorities have ruled the death of Kiely Rodni an accidental, and there was not any evidence suggesting there was foul play. Now then, I think everyone, whether you have been accident from day one, you flipped when it came to the AWP video, or you thought it was foul play the whole time, and then the fire cam, you're like, no, it was just an accident. I think we can all agree there's some red flags. There's some weird things going on surrounding Woodstock 2022. You know, the party that Sammy was overwhelmed by because she's been underwhelmed before. There were some red flags there. They're saying no evidence suggesting there's foul play. How did she get in the backpack?
Yes, please tell us. The backpack.
How did she get in the backpack? Why was there such confusion over what she was wearing, the jewelry? You guys throw me some red flags. My mind is kind of mush. The 2-week-long search for Rodni sparked national coverage. Now, first of all, They might have been searching for 2 weeks. Adventures with Purpose got there on a Friday afternoon and found her on a Sunday afternoon. Okay, so let's be clear on that stuff, all right? And I'm not trying to overinflate anything. I'm just saying it's the way it is. Rodney's death was the result of drowning, the Nevada County Sheriff's Office Coroner's Division found. They said, as always, our office will continue to work with the family by evaluating any additional information related to this investigation. The sheriff's office said in a release on Thursday. What additional information? If she drowned, she drowned. Where's the California Highway Patrol report? I have a feeling this is all we're going to get.
Well, that wouldn't be very fair to all we've been putting into this.
I don't think they're too worried about us, my friend.
I know.
Rodney disappeared from a large party at the Prosser family campground on August 6th. A volunteer dive group, we know who that is, found Rodney's body inside her car, submerged in Prosser Lake about 2 weeks later on August 21st. Live Copter 3 footage showed the car being pulled from the reservoir. Nobody was ever arguing that she was in the water. That wasn't.
This morning, we're expecting an update from investigators about a car and a body found in a Truckee reservoir yesterday.
Yeah, the discovery was made very near to where 16-year-old Kiely Rodni went missing just 2 weeks ago. KCRA3's Mike Tassell is outside the Prosser County Sheriff's Department with what we know right now.
Good morning, and let's start with the fact that there's no official confirmation yet that this is all linked to that missing 16-year-old. Again, Daddy's something that could come out at that news conference later this morning. But let me take you back to yesterday and show you the scene as Live Copter 3 was overhead. This is Prosser Reservoir. The Live Copter 3 was there as the vehicle was pulled from the water. It was confirmed that a body was inside and that car was submerged in 14 feet of water. The group that found her is a group called Adventures with Purpose. They're a specialty search and recovery dive team that actually joined this search just in the last couple of days. And while some may be questioning why this vehicle wasn't found sooner, others are commending the quick work of Adventures with Purpose. Listen.
And I've seen their YouTubes. I knew they were going to find her. And I think within a couple hours, they found her. Pretty amazing.
You know, I don't fault law enforcement in any way. They, I know they put in thousands of hours of searching, and Adventures with Purpose just has a specialty. They have the knowledge of reading their sonar equipment, and it's just a special talent that they have.
And initially on social media, Adventures with Purpose was making that link to the 16-year-old. But again, that is not something that's been confirmed. And the official ID of the body found has not yet been released. Again, all of that could be something we could hear in that news conference coming up later this morning, scheduled for 11 a.m. inside the Truckee Donner Recreation and Park District building. And we'll have the latest updates as they become available, immediately available on the KCRA3 app.
Okay, on August 23rd, the Nevada County Sheriff's Coroner confirmed that the autopsy results of the body pulled from the reservoir was the 16-year-old. Rodney's family said at the time that they were eternally grateful for the support from those who helped in the variety of ways during the search. Well, we know it went a little different than that.
Yeah.
While we accept this sadness cast under death's shadow, the rising sun still shines light upon us, reminding us not to mourn our loss, but to celebrate Kiely's spirit and the gift that we all received in knowing her. It's okay to mourn. It's okay to be pissed off. It's okay to be asking for answers as to what happened to your daughter, but that's just me. In September, dozens of community members came out to a celebration of life for Rodney. Her mother also shared a statement with the community.
We are so grateful to have the opportunity to join together today with our friends, family, and community in Kiely's name
Though we gather together, grief and healing is such a personal and individual thing. Today we will honor Kiely in honoring each other and holding each other up as we grieve in our own ways. We'll laugh, dance, share stories, songs, and poetry, or maybe we'll cry in a corner or at the podium.
That's so funny.
It's all okay. We'll remember and we'll create new memories as we all learn how to move forward in a world where we miss her. We are so blessed to be able to miss her together and to walk together into tomorrow. The way that she has brought everyone together, even in death, is a legacy that I will cherish forever. I'm hearing stories about people wanting to be nicer to each other in her memory. Kiely's dear friend recently told her mom that before all of this happened, she thought the word community had no real meaning, that it didn't really exist. But after Kiely went missing, the way our community showed up in full force showed her that it in fact is so very real and so powerful. That kind of impact on our teens gives me hope, the demonstration of strength and togetherness, and the way that they have an army of supporters standing behind them will carry them far as they enter adulthood. We would like to thank everyone who has come together to support us in what we hope will be the most difficult time of our lives. There's no way that we'll be able to ever return the kindness, generosity, and compassion that has been extended to us over the last month, but we will live the rest of our lives trying, and in that trying, Kiely will be with us, reminding us to be kind, laugh, and sing, and that sometimes it's even okay to cry. In closing, I want to thank our media friends for respecting our request to give us privacy while we celebrate my daughter today. Unfortunately, the social media frenzy has become such a monster that our teens are suffering, and we want to create a safe space for them to heal together without fear of something being taken out of context. To anyone who gains pleasure or satisfaction from commenting online, I ask you to take a moment to look inward and to try to recognize your motive. Remember the three gates that all words should flow through. Is it kind? Is it true? Is it helpful? I implore you to remember that there is honor in silence and there is kindness in minding your own business. You are talking about the death of my child, our community's child. It's time to let our children mourn their friend quietly, peacefully. I hope you can find other, more beautiful and helpful ways to spend your time and remember Kiely. Call your mom, take a walk, pick up a new hobby. Please know we got this. Let her rest.
Okay. Adventures with Purpose said our thoughts and prayers are with Kiely and her family. Oh, the puppy doesn't agree.
I'll mute.
No, you're fine. Our thoughts and prayers are with Kiely and her family. We trust today that a thorough investigation has been completed and will stand by the decision released in their findings. So they're not going to release their video. They're not going to release.
Does it say they're not going to?
That kind of seems. I mean, I'm just guessing.
Oh, you're okay. Okay.
There's nothing in there saying, our thoughts and they gave their thoughts and prayers when they pulled Kiely out, even when they got pissed on by Lindsay.
Yeah.
No, I mean, they had to thank Jagger the other day for his continued support because he was trolling them so bad. I mean, they're big boys. They don't care about stuff like that. They've got real things to do. Right. I'm not saying this isn't real. I'm talking about dealing with people like Jagger.
Right.
So they just, it says, we will stand and will stand by the decisions released in their findings.
Well, they did say they would stand by it, but they also said they weren't going to believe it wasn't foul play.
And they'll be asked about this over and over. It's going to be a very, very long time until they will not be associated with the Kiely Rodni case. It's going to be a very long time before people forget.
Right.
As other cases pop up, people are going to go back to, because many people found them through Kiely Rodni. Not saying that they didn't have a lot going for themselves before.
Right. Right. Yeah, I think this really blew them out of the stratosphere.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of people involved. A lot of people invested in this case, and a lot of people not going to get satisfaction now from knowing what really happened.
Well, this article does not say anything about toxicology will be released, which isn't going to matter anyway. They said there's no evidence of foul play. It's been ruled an accident, and she drowned. Why it took from August 22nd to this release to say this was an accident in the back with the car in neutral, seatbelt hanging out the back, the whole 9 yards. I don't know. If it's an accident, though, may she rest in peace. I really just don't. This blows my mind.
Yeah. That's what I said. If it was an accident, it wouldn't have took them this long. And there's something about a black box that goes to the car that says every movement it made.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to know, that black box would tell you if there was another driver in the car or another passenger in the car. It would tell you a lot. Let's put it that way. It would tell you at the speed she was going, everything. I guess the keys had to be in the ignition. I was wondering about that, but.
Well, and I mean, what exactly was Jagger cleared from if this was an accident?
Right. Exactly.
Why did Jagger tell someone that I know that all of the kids, now when I say all, I don't know the names and I don't know the numbers. He just used that term. All of us, he said, have attorneys. That's what he said. Why would you need an attorney if she had an accident? She drowned, Jagger. This came from Jagger. This wasn't somebody that made anything up. It came from Jagger.
Yeah. It says right underneath the video, this is a developing story. Stay with KCRA 3 for the latest.
Well, what's developing? And what I don't want is, with the very, very, very good work that Adventures with Purpose does, I don't want people which they're going to smear what they do for families and disrupt that. You know what I mean?
Yes. And did you notice, I've seen a lot of their videos, and in particularly the Julissa Fuentes one, the whole family was on that beach waiting for them, waiting for their findings. And in every other video, even of the cold cases, the family was there always. Yep. And they were always talking to the family, whether it be the mother and the father or just the mother. There was always an immediate relative there while they were searching for the car. My big question was, if her family knew they were in town doing that, why weren't they more involved? I don't understand that. And the way that the father and the grandfather were notified was through social media. That's how they ended up driving down there so quick, because they saw it on social media. And the people that AWP called were Lindsay's husband's mother and Lindsay's husband's sister. How did they end up with their phone numbers and not the immediate family phone numbers? I just don't get it. I just don't get it. It just seems like everybody got pissed off as soon as they found her.
I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I don't. And, you know, I remember when Lindsay said, well, no one called. They didn't call me or Tony. They were eating sushi, you know, that day.
Yeah.
They were having a day date.
Well, they called Tony's mother and sister. Those are the only phone numbers they had.
She had an entire week. And don't give me this living off grid. She had an entire week.
If you and me knew they were going to be there that weekend, I'm sure everybody in Truckee knew they were going to be there.
If I knew, she knew. I'm the last to know everything. All right, I think this might be the part or coming up to it. Hang on.
Announcement on a press conference. I don't know that, Betty. Anybody heard of a press conference tomorrow?
I have not, but you know, that's where we are on this case. You know, it's
So God of Thunder says, are SOPs going to be adapting standards, if anything? If you know, I can't answer that either.
Oh no, nothing's going to change. I mean, really, the only change that comes from this, because of exposure, is how much of a resource we truly are. How much more of a combined effort there needs to be the next time we are, you know, intimately working, you know, any cases in an area where law enforcement per se is not with us, because sometimes law enforcement is not with us. We're only working with a family. So it's just awareness. The only thing that's coming from this is 100% positivity. Obviously, with the more publicity we receive, the more success that we create, there's going to also create more criticism, more haters. That's just a natural side effect. And we'll never respond to that stuff because our characters and our body of work will always overshadow all of that. We don't have to.
Exactly right.
We're not going to refer to any of that stuff and give those individuals that are fighting for relevancy any type of relevancy more than they don't even deserve it.
So I know you can't answer this because they typically protect that information, but I just wanted to put it up there. Okay, but it is coming. So guys, just pay attention to what's going to come up at some point with Dr. P there, Dr. Phil.
It'll probably be, we don't even know. So
no, but it's going to be cool.
I would think within a month. I mean, I don't know.
How was LA? Did you, when you went down near Paramount down there, did you cross through the jungle?
Sort of, yeah. Paramount Studios was great. Everyone there was very, you know, inviting. It was humbling to be inside of such a huge operation and absorb what they do in their world as well, because we don't come from that world. So we, you know, like I said, no matter where we're at, we're sponges. So being inside of that, you know, extreme professional type of filming and studio and production, we're absorbing it, you know, keeping our eyes open, our ears open more than our mouths. And we learned a lot there.
So you guys drive into this question if you feel comfortable.
Absolutely, this is possible. You know, so with we have our opinion. Our opinion, if you've watched our episode, is based on a lot that you see in the episode, as well as 90% of the stuff that we cannot talk about and have never been able to talk about nor comment, and that none of the public even knows. So, but does that mean we're right? Absolutely not. We're allowed to voice our opinion, and we're never going to back down from that because that's our voice. At the end of the day, if this is foul play, we could never be loud enough. Never. Now, law enforcement is going to come out here soon. Like you just mentioned, there's rumors they may come out tomorrow or something like that. But whenever they come out, we know we have one of three things that are going to happen, right? They're going to announce that it's an accident. That's going to create a whole storm because nobody's going to believe that. The second thing that's going to happen is they're going to say it's inconclusive, right? Inconclusive at this point, and then it's still ongoing. That's going to create another storm because of how things were handled every step of the way. There's a lot of blaming that's going to go on because of why it's inconclusive. Or three, the third one is that, hey, it is indeed very suspicious death and it's still an ongoing investigation. And that in itself is going to create another storm. But, you know, just because we feel a certain way doesn't mean that that's how it is. You know, the law enforcement, the FBI, CHP, Nevada County Sheriff's Department, Prosser County Sheriff's Department, they're going to come up with a theory or their assessment. They'll present it to the public. And, unfortunately, fortunately, that's what we have to wait on. And right now, all we have is what we've released. And, depending on certain positions that they may take, we'll have a lot more info that will come forward and possibly a whole nother episode.
Okay, so that's what they said. I found it. Did you guys all hear that, or do I need to replay it?
Yeah, that was, they didn't say one way or the other in this interview. I think you should replay it again.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to replay that, guys. Hang on.
I'm going to mute because my dog keeps barking.
I love your dog. What kind of dog do you have?
I have a cockalier.
I don't know what that is. I'll have to look that up.
It's a half Cocker Spaniel and a half King Charles Cavalier.
Does Tyler Feller breed those?
I don't think so. I'm going to mute.
We're never going to back down from that because that's our voice. At the end of the day, if this is foul play, we could never be loud enough. Never. Now, law enforcement is going to come out here soon. Like you just mentioned, there's rumors they may come out tomorrow or something like that. But whenever they come out, we know we have one of three things that are going to happen, right? They're going to announce that it's an accident. That's going to create a whole storm because nobody's going to believe that. The second thing that's going to happen is they're going to say it's inconclusive, right? Inconclusive at this point, and then it's still ongoing. That's going to create another storm because of how things were handled every step of the way. There's a lot of blaming that's going to go on because of why it's inconclusive. Or three, the third one is that, hey, it is indeed very suspicious death and it's still an ongoing investigation. And that in itself is going to create another storm. But, just because we feel a certain way doesn't mean that that's how it is. The law enforcement, the FBI, CHP, Nevada County Sheriff's Department, Prosser County Sheriff's Department, they're going to come up with a theory or their assessment. They'll present it to the public. And, fortunately, that's what we have to wait on. And right now, all we have is what we've released. And, depending on certain positions that they may take, we'll have a lot more info that will come forward and possibly a whole nother episode.
Yeah, those well said. Well said.
Okay, so take from that what you will. I don't know.
He doesn't specify.
Not particularly. What's up, Woolston?
Hello there.
Brooks, thank you for having me. I enjoyed it. I have to jump down because my dog is very antsy. He needs my attention.
All right, well, keep in touch. Send me an email, all right?
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, bye, hun.
Bye.
What are you thinking, Woolston? We got Steve Beasley as well. What's going on, Steve?
Not a whole lot. How y'all doing?
Oh, just trying to figure out why KCRA was allowed, why they received somebody's got a lot of noise. Who's got noise? That hurt my ears, and I don't even have earbuds in.
Sorry.
Why they released a statement from the sheriff's office today that just quickly said she drowned. There's no evidence of foul play. Now, we can count through all the red flags to law enforcement. None of those matter. None of those matter. So I just believe that the way this was neatly tied up through a local station today, it seems to me we're probably not going to hear anything more. What do you think, Steve?
Well, I figured early on we'd never find out the actual truth, because it's too tight knit. It's too, small town. We got to protect ourselves. And one other thing I was thinking, actually,
Hang on. Hey, Uli, I don't know what's going on. GOP Nick, he had a message deleted and he got timed out. So that had to have been an accident. So if you're still listening, GOP Nick or GOP Nick, however you say it, I don't know. That was an accident. Go ahead, Steve.
Does anybody know if there is an election coming up soon in that area?
All across the country, midterms are coming up.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if old sheriff was trying to get voted in again, and he's just, you know, playing out like he's got the best thing in the world.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, I don't know why this was strung along for 2 months and not addressed when they found her and said, our preliminary findings are a drowning. But here we are. They said November 1st. And nobody's picking on Truckee for being a small town.
No, not at all.
No, I don't mean you. I saw a comment. I'm from a small town, and this wouldn't have gone on for 2 months. I can tell you that right now. I don't know what's going on. The entire area it's gorgeous. It's legendary. Not Truckee itself, but just the whole Tahoe area. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I do not believe that they are like backward in any way, or that they don't know how to get through a case. I really don't. So what's been going on for 2 months that you can't say it's a accident? Why give this to KCRA in a 1 sentence release from the sheriff and then you're just done with it? I don't get it. What's going on?
Well, see, my thing with that is when they found her, it may have been a day or 2 days. They did the autopsy. A drowning, as soon as you do the autopsy and the lungs are full of water, that's cut and dry. That's done. Why did they drag it out saying we're waiting on toxicology, we're waiting on this, we're waiting on that? If she drowned, she drowned.
Why were they having daily press conferences about an accident? Why were they telling people why was all this mystery surrounding this party? If they believed it to be foul play in the beginning and then said, well, no, we found out it's an accident, that's one thing. But they're like, she could have had this Lana Del Rey hoodie on and then this white hoodie. Then they have the press conference where they're talking about her jewelry. Then they said, we need more information about the fights that were going on at the party. We need more information about the fights. And the big one, what got me into this, was her mother saying the impossible. The impossible. And when her mother said, my daughter is missing. My daughter was at a party last night. Nobody saw her leave. Please, somebody come out and help. Please, somebody tell us.
You know, Brooks, you know what I really want to know?
What?
And I don't know that we will ever know it unless AWP just decides to go, hey, I'm not going along with this. And I want to know, unfortunately, as morbid as it sounds, I want to know what Nick saw when he looked in that car.
Yeah. Something freaked him out because he came up and said it's suspicious. Now that could have been in 5 takes. I don't know.
No, he was in shambles.
Yeah, he was.
He was. He was shook up. But I want to know what he saw. Whether that child was in there and she was tied up, or she was strapped in, or because nobody's going to go in the water, go to the cargo part of their vehicle and strap themselves in.
Mm-hmm. Why would anyone have to be cleared or get a lawyer if this was an accident? I don't know. What do you think, Woolston?
I'm actually flabbergasted at the level of corruption in the police. I thought the UK police force was bad with corruption and covering things up, but just over the last few months of the cases, look at the other boy who was found hanged in his garden on the swing set, and they've ruled that a suicide. It's just beyond belief. And the sad thing is that none of us anywhere can do anything about it. You know what they say goes, and it's just so. I personally can't believe that it's just an accident. Not given all what I've seen on YouTube, the interviews, the lies, the deceit. You don't lie if it's an accident. You don't cover up an accident. And this has been.
Hey, Wilson.
Yeah.
I got a quick question for you.
Yeah.
Just because I play the lives on here and you've been on before, and my mother-in-law loves your accent. Where are you from?
I'm originally from Hartlepool, which is on the east coast, but I'm presently living in Durham, County Durham, which is it's roughly about 30 miles away from Newcastle. Up on
and Newcastle is where?
Newcastle is it's not far from the border with Scotland.
Got you. Okay, because that's what she and I talked about that, and she was like, "He sounds like he's from Scotland," and I was like, "Yeah, he does, but I'm not sure."
Yeah, I've got a Teesside accent.
Okay.
Mixed in now with a little bit of County Durham accent as well.
Okay. Well, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just had to ask that. Sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, so that's my stance on things. I personally disagree with the decision, but like I said, we can disagree, from now to eternity, and it's not going to do anybody any good. It just seems to, it seems that the law enforcement are a law unto themselves, and so are the people in Truckee. It's just absolutely. I'm trying to convince myself, I suppose, that it was an accident, but I just can't. It's just unbelievable, I think.
Well, there is one thing I do not understand. If they had all of those FBI, all those federal agents on the ground there, I don't see how they would let them get away with saying it's an accident if it actually wasn't.
Okay, let's read.
Yeah, I suppose that's true, but you just don't know how the law enforcement works. What the motives are for deeming things accidents, what the motives are for deeming things foul play. Maybe it's all to do with budget. I've heard that a lot over the past few months, that it's easier and cheaper just to deem something an accident and hoping that the public will just accept it and go away. It's
yeah, I don't think that's going to happen in this case.
No, I don't. I hope not. There's too many. There's too many discrepancies, of statements by not just Sammy. And another thing, what I've just found out. I've just found it on the internet around about an hour ago. I was just searching through things before I even found out that it had been deemed an accident. And I think I heard somewhere say that the guy who was apparently drove Sammy home that night was called Connor O'Hanlon. And I've just found him on Facebook, and it's a younger picture of him, but it's the Ronnie Jones guy who was on Ryan's live. So I just, it just doesn't make sense. Why did this Ronnie Jones guy go on there calling himself Ronnie Jones when his name's Connor O'Hanlon and he's supposed to have driven Sammy home that night? It's just, I don't know. Is it O'Banion, is it?
Well, he may have been just trying to keep his name out of it.
Oh, that's quite possible. But the guy on Facebook, it's definitely the same guy.
Well, sorry, I still had my screen up and I was looking around because I got a message saying that there was a coroner's report. Plunder put it up. So sorry for my sloppiness tonight because, I should have not had it on the screen as I was looking around for it. But anyway, I found it. So let's see what it says. I'm not going to listen to all 30 minutes of it. Just let's see, because it's Plunders and she's super cool, but let's just see what she says.
All right.
Rodney's full coroner final report of investigation I just received today, Thursday, October 13th. So the final classification is an accident for Kiely I believe it's Rodni, born September 1st, 2015, never married, 5'5", 103 pounds, blonde hair, hazel eyes, white female. Remains identified by, or how identified, Detective Strachan during the autopsy. Lindsay Neiman is the mom. Her place of death is Prosser Creek Reservoir in Truckee, Nevada County, California. Death reported by a private dive company, so they did not name Adventures with Purpose by name. Autopsy, removed to coroner, yes. Cause, drowning. Other conditions, none. Manner of death, accident at Prosser Creek Reservoir. At work, no. The date of injury apparently is unknown. It said the decedent drowned in a lake while inside her vehicle. So that's what we have there. We have the case number, the reporting officer, Kiely's home address, all of the things we know. Hazel eyes, blonde hair. DNA taken, no. DNA refused, no. They gave us the GPS coordinates, the date, the day that Adventures with Purpose found her, 8/21/22. Time of arrival on scene is 6:58 p.m., which seems a little late. Time reported, however, was 10:07. Search and rescue request reported to Placer County Sheriff's Office. The date reported August 6, 2022. Time of death given on August 21st is 8:33 p.m. Now it's saying she was located in her 2013 Honda CRV, California license plate 8YUR127, and the vehicle was near these coordinates given. They don't know if she was an organ tissue donor, unknown contagious diseases, unknown medical info. Cause of death, however, is still pending investigation. So that's pretty.
Then why did the sheriff's department tell KCRA, which I had on the screen and I read out loud and it was on the screen? I didn't even have to look for that one. I actually had that pulled up, that she drowned. Okay, cause of death, pending investigation. Remains identified by pending forensic pathologist report. Then it says next of kin, Lindsay Rodni Neiman and Daniel Rodni were contacted at California Highway Patrol's Truckee office at 21:45 hours on August 21st and notified there was a descendant located in the vehicle registered to Kiely Rodni. Positive identification was not able to be made. Why was Lindsay saying nobody contacted her? Why is Lindsay saying nobody contacted her?
Just gets more odd by the minute, doesn't it?
Am I dreaming? Of course she was called.
Important. Smoker, yes. Alcohol use, yes. Remains identified by pending forensic pathologist report. No scars, marks, or tattoos observed, but we know allegedly she supposedly had the number 17 tattooed on her. So
Where'd her tattoo go? She had a tattoo. Okay.
Seems bogus. It seems bogus to me.
So when it says positive identification was not able to be made at this time, that means Kiely Rodni's mum didn't look at it to see if it was her daughter.
Well, and also they told Lindsay. She had a tattoo of the number 17.
Sure why that wasn't observed on her ribs. Was it because of the state of Kiely's body? Personal physician unknown, personal dentist, next of kin, Lindsay Rodni Neiman and Daniel Rodni were contacted by CHP's Truckee office at 9:45 on August 21st and notified there was a decedent located in the vehicle registered to Kiely Rodni. Positive ID was not able to be made at that time. Based on circumstantial evidence, the decedent was believed to be Kiely Rodni. They were advised of the pending pathologist report for confirmation of identity and a cause of death. Investigation. I was called to respond to Prosser Creek Reservoir to a peninsula southwest of Prosser Family Campground. I was advised a female decedent was located within the cargo space of the vehicle Kiely Rodni was reported to have been driving. I responded to the location to handle the coroner's case. I arrived on scene at approximately 1900 hours, so that's 7 p.m., and FBI agents, FBI crime scene techs, Placer County Sheriff's Office deputies, CHP officers, Truckee PD officers, and detectives from Nevada County Sheriff's Office were all near a tow truck. I spoke to Detective Saunier, who advised me that law enforcement divers had hooked the tow truck's winch to a vehicle under the water and were assisting with recovering the vehicle. I waited until the vehicle was removed from the water and I was given permission to begin my investigation. Body position. There was a white female decedent located in the rear cargo compartment of the silver 2013 Honda CR-V. The right leg of the decedent was against the pillar of the back seat and resting near the headrest.
All right. There was a white female descendant located in the rear cargo compartment of the silver 2013 Honda CR-V. The right leg was against the pillar of the back seat and resting near the headrest. The remainder was behind the seats and not visible from outside the vehicle. FBI agents and technicians donned Tyvek suits and protective gear and entered into the vehicle. The body was removed under my supervision by FBI agents and FBI crime scene technicians. The body was placed into a large vinyl body bag. Okay. I'm trying to figure out the positioning.
I've just noticed as well there, it says like when the actual FBI agents and technicians donned suits to enter into the vehicle, that obviously was after it was taken out and tipped upside down and her body moved. So it wasn't actually found in the position it was in. They haven't sort of documented it in the position it was under the water.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
This is absolutely ridiculous.
The remainder of the decedent was behind the seats and not visible from outside the vehicle. FBI agents and techs donned Tyvek suits and protective gear and entered into the vehicle. The body was removed under my supervision by FBI agents and FBI crime scene techs. The body was placed in a large black vinyl body bag, visually inspected, and the bag was sealed. No items were removed from the decedent's person, and the remains were later transported by Truckee Tahoe Mortuary directly to the Placer County morgue. The body showed obvious signs of bloating, lividity, and decomposition. There was skin sloughing, and no positive ID could be made due to the decomposition present on the face. Mortuary. Detective Saunier told me the decedent was going to be transported directly to the Placer County morgue and scheduled for examination on Tuesday. No mortuary photographs were taken by this investigator. Statements: I was advised by Detective Saunier that he believed the decedent was Kiely Mae Rodni based on his investigation. I did not obtain additional statements related to this case while I was on scene. Truckee Tahoe Mortuary funeral counselor Alyssa Babcock arrived on scene and transported the decedent's remains to Placer County's morgue facility at approximately 9:20 on August 21st, 2022. Again, no items of property were removed from the decedent. Any items taken from the scene will be noted in supplemental reports by the investigators. I was told the silver 2013 Honda CR-V was going to be towed by the FBI, and taken to their facility in Sacramento for additional processing. I was advised the vehicle will then be returned to the Truckee CHP office for their vehicle accident investigation team to perform their investigation. This case is pending the forensic pathologist's findings for identification and cause of death. So we still don't have that so far. Forward to Chief Coroner Sergeant Klinkenbeard. End of report. For photos of the scene and the decedent, refer to Detective Saunier's supplemental report. So we now have a supplemental report from Deputy Damian Norden, August 23rd, 2022. On August 23rd, 2022, at approximately 10:20 hours, I received a phone call from Captain Sam Brown. Captain Brown told me the decedent in case 122-02506 had been positively identified as Kiely Rodni. After I spoke to Captain Brown, I called the decedent's parents, Daniel Rodni and Lindsay Rodni, as it were. I offered to meet with Daniel and Lindsay, and they both told me to update them on the phone. I told Daniel and Lindsay the decedent had been positively identified as Kiely Rodni. Detective Josephine Strachan, August 23rd, 2022, approximately 8:30 at the Placer County morgue. On the above date and time, I attended the autopsy for decedent Kiely Rodni at the Placer County morgue in Roseville. At the completion of the autopsy, I collected the following items of jewelry removed from the decedent. Jewelry, miscellaneous jewelry, bracelets from the right wrist, necklaces, rings. The items were transported to the sheriff's property unit and booked. Now we have reported by Sergeant Jason Klinkenbeard, October 12th, 2022. Supplemental investigation. This report was forwarded to the Coroner Division by Deputy Mackey with the Patrol Division on August 23rd, 2022. Placer County Forensic Pathologist Dr. Gregory Reber, MD, performed an autopsy on the remains of Kiely. Positive ID of the decedent had been made by Detective Josephine Strachan during the autopsy. Detective Strachan was present during the autopsy and documented her observations and the method of ID in a supplemental report to the original missing persons report. NCO case number 1220-2364, supplemental report number 14. I have recently reviewed the pathologist's final report of autopsy, which listed the cause of death, in this case as drowning. There were no other significant contributing conditions listed. I conferred with Detective Saunier, and he told me there was no indication of foul play regarding the criminal investigation into the death of Kiely. The manner of death in this case has been determined to be accidental. So, it is an accidental manner of death. No foul play. Closed accident. Oh, now we have the tox reports. Ethanol, 88 nicotine, presumption positive, caffeine, codenine, delta 9 carb THC, so THC we know. White cap plastic container, specimens received. Ethanol.
I don't know what any of these numbers mean.
Neither do I.
Okay. I'm going to go back to the letter. Hang on.
I've got to agree with somebody there in chat. The video I watched of the AWP footage, which was an actually unedited version of their first video, there was another person in that car, 100%. It absolutely stinks, this.
This report was forwarded to the Coroner Division by Deputy Mackey with the Patrol Division on August 23, 2022. Placer County Forensic Pathologist Dr. Gregory Reber, MD, performed an autopsy on the remains of Kiely. Positive ID of the decedent had been made by Detective Josephine Strachan during the autopsy. Detective Strachan was present during the autopsy and documented her observations and the method of ID and a supplemental report to the original missing persons report. NCO case number 12202364, supplemental report number 14. I have recently reviewed the pathologist's final report of autopsy, which listed the cause of death, in this case as drowning. There were no other significant contributing conditions listed. I conferred with Detective Saunier, and he told me there was no indication of foul play regarding the criminal investigation into the death of Kiely. The manner of death in this case has been determined to be accidental. So, it is an accidental manner of death. No foul play. Closed accident. Oh, now we have the tox reports. Ethanol, 88 nicotine, presumption positive, caffeine, codenine, delta 9 carb THC, so THC we know. White cap plastic container, specimens received. Ethanol in the liver tissue. Some of this we wonder what is presumed to appear in a person's system post-mortem and what does it represent.
What doesn't make sense to me is that if
Oh my goodness, is that from her
What's that, Woolston?
So what doesn't make sense to me is that if Kiely planned on driving home, then surely why would she drive intoxicated after taking drugs? And why would her mother must have known that she was?
I don't know. This whole thing is very bizarre. I don't know why when they said November 1st, they go ahead and they open the FOIA because Plunder has it. This is Plunder's channel with the coroner's final report. The Sheriff's Department, Nevada County, give a statement to KCRA. JPL sent it to me, so we went live to discuss it. I don't know. It's the timing's very odd, and I just don't know why it took 2 months for all of this. And I don't know why all the mystery, he said, she said, who's on first games, press conferences, community meetings, teen to teen, white hoodie, black hoodie, belly button ring, necklaces, fun fights. I don't know why all that went on if it was presumed to be an accident and that nobody saw her leave the party. I don't understand why all that went on if it's an accident. I just don't.
Exactly, because because the autopsy was done the following day, and if she drowned, they knew it then. So if you know she drowned, why drag it out for 2 months?
Just seems a little sloppy to me is all I'm saying. I don't know how they do things. I don't work there. It just seems a little, if it's an accident, accidents happen every day. We were talking about this in the Quentin Simon case. They're trying to make it look like he drowned and it was covered up by his mother, whatever, but she doesn't remember anything. And like we discussed on the show, accidents happen.
I suppose it's just another invention.
Well, I mean, accidents happen.
Just another Truckee invention.
They'll be on the 5 o'clock news, the 6, the 10 o'clock, and sometimes if there's not any other news going on, the next morning they might bring it up again, depending on the area. This got nationwide attention. So what's going on? I put the link up, by the way.
I find something else kind of funny.
What is it?
With that fire cam, when they supposedly say that that's Kiely's vehicle going into the water, I don't know whether it is or it isn't, but just the simple fact that if you're at a party and all of these people are supposed to be hanging out for their graduation or whatever, if that happened to somebody, not a single person stopped. There were vehicles that turned around and went back, and there were more vehicles that came from behind her and left, and nobody tried to help her.
Exactly.
So if it is indeed an accident, somebody could have got that child some help.
One would think.
With friends like those, who needs enemies, eh?
Yeah.
And another thing I think of, because I listened to Doug on a different live, and he said that the window that was busted out, from his perspective, was busted from the outside. So it was busted before it went in the water. The back window was halfway down. And just like he said, if you go into a water in an accident, why are you going to pass 2 open windows and end up in the cargo area?
Yeah, and also somebody's just said in comments there, which was interesting, that there's no items of clothing mentioned that had been taken off her. Why weren't they listed?
It still shows cause of death pending. That's why I just wonder why Nevada County said to KCRA it's a drowning. They're really they're kind of causing a little more confusion than needed here.
Well, see, that brings me to another point too, because I also saw Doug on a different live, and this was a while back, like not too long after it happened. And somebody asked him the question that whether she had any clothes on or not, whether she was naked.
Oh, come on. Oh, that's just so.
It is, but the interesting part about that is his reply was, "I can't answer that."
Who was he talking to?
I don't know whose live he was on, but
Yeah.
it was a question from the chat.
I think it was on Zav's Live.
It might have been.
All right, let's not talk about any creators because that stuff just makes me sick to my stomach. Man.
Yeah, but my only key thing about that is the fact that he replied with, "I can't answer that." If she had clothes on, what would be wrong with him going, "Yes, she had clothes on"?
Exactly.
That doesn't hinder any investigation.
I wouldn't think so.
What's going on?
Hey, UFC.
What's up, dude?
What's up, brother man? So I just want to speak on Delta 9 THC real quick, guys. Delta 9 THC is sold at smoke shops throughout California. It is a legal substance federally. It can be sold in regular stores. Delta 9. I don't know if you guys know a lot about Delta 9. The contents in Delta 9 is about 40% of the high of a regular THC.
Yeah, we know about 9, 10, 0, all of them. We know
well,
about
they're
them
all
bro.
that's not, to me, that's not a reason that she's not even that high. I could smoke a whole 10-pack of Delta 9. It's not doing nothing to me. Delta 9,
I know.
It's a stimulant that's legal because of the weed in there is not as strong, THC. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just clearing that up with everybody in here. Delta 9. I haven't heard what you guys are talking about. So they came out with this and they called it a drowning. Well, did they say it was an accidental drowning, or they haven't clarified?
They didn't say accidental drowning.
There you go. Then it's an pending investigation. This could be a trick by the LE to send out to get, you know what I'm saying, for these kids to open up a little more. Remember, if it was an accidental drowning, remember, anybody that drowns, they always say accidental drowning. They always say that.
No,
it
said no evidence of foul play, and this is final.
Oh shit, they said that too?
Yeah, this is final. Caroline said all the tubers who confirm fire cam are gloating. No clue they are sheep. We didn't say anything on here about the fire cam. Carolyn, I basically said it looked like Bigfoot footage. It looked like the Blair Witch Project. I can't read fish finders either. I can't read deer cams. I'm not good with any of that. I just can't. So, if you're coming here for expert advice, you're just not going to get it about things like that. I can't think of anything you're going to get expert advice from this channel from. I don't mean to let you down.
Man, that's crazy. They rolled it in an accident. I'm so surprised, dude. That's so surprising to me. I mean, lack of evidence, though. Lack of all their evidence. It seemed like they thought it was an accident when they pulled that car out the water, though. They were already rolled in their heads. They already rolled in an accident. That's I don't know, man. That's crazy.
I think it's like page 3 or 4 of the coroner's final report. It just says accidental. All that blah, 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 blah. And then it says final, closed. It's closed. But now KCRA says as more information becomes available, but I think that's on every one of their reports, their newscasts.
And of course, the THC is the principal psychoactive ingredient of marijuana and hash.
It's not THC though. It's Delta 9. It's different than hash.
Of decomposition or degradation of biological samples. All of the following tests were performed for this case. So we have cannabinoids. Oh my. Analysis and reporting limits. Not reported THC canceled due to sample matrix problem. Cocaine and metabolites confirmation tissue. So that's something that was brought up, could be a possibility in her system.
Hang on, Daisy. Daisy, is that a good spot or do I need to go back? Daisy wants to read it. Daisy said, can you please just freeze the tox report so we can actually read it? I paused it right there. Can you see it okay, Daisy?
Hey Brooks, real quick.
What?
I'm gonna jump off here. I got to work in the morning.
Oh.
I enjoy chatting with y'all, and I'll be on more as much as I can anyway. Nice talking to you, Woolston. Nice talking to you, UFC Frog. Even though you just jumped on.
You too, Steve.
I really enjoy. My family enjoys. We all listen to y'all together. So I'm gonna jump down, and I hope y'all have a good evening. And I look forward to more lives with you guys.
Hey, it was so good to see you, Steve, or talk to you. Don't be a stranger, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, bye.
Well,
bye.
System. Is this the same? This isn't, I guess, benzos. It is cocaine, and that might be quite a bit. I'm going to have to go through each of these and determine what is what. The following is a list of general analyte classes. It looks like if all of these substances were present, this looks like quite a bit of things were in Kiely's system, and I see that she should not have been driving in this condition. It's pretty sad.
That's so weird. She took 4 drugs that counteract each other.
Death is indeed drowning.
There's 4 drugs in her system that counteract each other. That's confusing.
She drank out the same. She drank out the same cup as Kiely did. Just so that again is a lie because Sammy would have had these in there.
Yeah, she said she drank out everything she drank out of. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about this stuff. All right. Like I said, you're not getting an expert opinion here. I couldn't tell you. I have no experience in this. Just from what Plunder's reading, that sounds like enough to kill a horse. What is all this? UFC?
I'm trying to figure out why she has so much different drugs in her system. It doesn't make sense. I used to do coke, and I would never mix coke with benzos or something to put me to sleep. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't. It's like someone made a drink and mixed everything in it to make her overdose and not remember. You got to remember, she was on cocaine. She is not she's not falling asleep in the car. She can be as drunk as you want. You're not falling asleep on cocaine. That little ass girl, she puts 1 line in her. That's like me putting 10.
Yeah.
She weighed 110 pounds, guys. 1 line of cocaine will keep that girl up all night. Remember this. It doesn't make sense to me. It does not. Usually if you're a druggie, you either like the downers or the uppers. You don't do both. That's totally a waste of money and a waste of time. It's like somebody forced her to ingest some of these things. I mean, that's coming from one to another. I've never seen someone do heroin and cocaine at the same time. I didn't say Kiely did heroin, but she did things that would be an anti. You know what I'm saying? An upper and a downer. The alcohol is a downer. The cocaine goes to the alcohol. But then there's more drugs in her system. That doesn't make sense to me. I can't read them all right now, but I'm going to go over these papers and when I get off here and try to figure out. You know what I'm saying?
The thing what started me was acetone. Isn't that it's like nail polish remover, isn't it? It's like a paint thinner.
Let's go back.
Grading or degradation of biological samples. All of the following tests were performed for this case. So we have cannabinoids. Oh my. Analysis and reporting limits. Not reported THC canceled due to sample matrix problem. Cocaine and metabolites confirmation tissue. So that's something that was brought up, could be a possibility in her system. Is this the same? This isn't, I guess, benzos. It is cocaine, and that might be quite a bit. I'm going to have to go through each of these and determine what is what. The following is a list of general analyte classes. It looks like if all of these substances were present, this looks like quite a bit of things were in Kiely's system, and I see that she should not have been driving in this condition. It's pretty sad. So drowning, the cause of death is indeed drowning. Tox, stock tissue, liver tissue. And then we have a coroner's ID tag attached to the zipper pull of the body bag containing the decedent confirms the case number. And they get down to the upper body was indeed covered by a spaghetti strap black French cut bodysuit. So she still had that bodysuit on, apparently. A pair of black briefs are on the lower body as well. The lower body is covered by green twill pants with a black belt through the belt loops bearing multiple rivets. So that's that same grommet belt. The belt appears buckled. A gray-green sneaker is on the right foot along with a multicolored ankle sock. A matching sneaker accompanies the body within the body bag. A matching left sock is inside the loose left sneaker, except for the shoe being off the left foot. The clothing appears relatively normal in position. So Kiely was dressed. Personal property includes a white metal hoop through a piercing on the left ala nasal, and so that's her nose ring, I do believe. I think I've seen it in different photos. I just want to confirm what I'm looking up here. Yes, the cartilage on each side of the nose. I believe I remember seeing that in a photo. The right ear has 3 white metal loops through the helix and a small crescent moon shape.
Crime. I got something to say. She was found a month later. If they found cocaine in her system, there's no way to be in her system in a month. There's no possible way in hell unless she died prior to doing it or right when she did it. Because it only lasts in your system for 1 to 3 days.
2 weeks later. 2 weeks later, they found her.
There's no way. There's no way in 2 weeks. I put my life savings on it. With her body weight and her mass being under 130 pounds, that cocaine would not be in her system for more than 3 days. And I put my life on it right now. 5 tops. 5 tops. Look it up, guys. It's on the internet. I know. I passed drug tests. There's no way that would last in her system unless she died with it like right when she did it. I guess I don't know how your blood works when you die, but it only lasts in your system for 3 to 5 days. And with her being that small with not a lot of body fat, it limits it's less time to get out your system.
Okay, look at what Jules says. Molly consists of these drugs being mixed together in sometimes a pill form.
I mean, I suppose that's true. You don't know what you're getting.
Yeah, they could have mixed it in with a Percocet or a fake Percocet or something, I guess. But yeah, I did it every day for 5 years, guys, and I could get it out of my system in a week or 2. But she's so skinny, I just don't see her like lasting these 3 to 5 days usually. But I could be wrong. Maybe she did it every day, hardcore. But I don't see that with her going to school.
Yeah, it's like when you get swab tested by the police when they stop you. It's well known that people say, well, you can do coke because it's out your system in 3 days. It's cannabis stays in your system longer, doesn't it?
I do know my stuff, Mackenzie. I did it for a long time. I could pass the drug test. I can do it the next day and pass. It's just you hit the sauna, you're skinny. If they did a hair follicle, I guess, but I wouldn't. How would it be in her hair follicle if she died right away? It wouldn't. I don't see it even. I don't know. I'm confused really, because if she died an hour after she ingested cocaine, then I wouldn't even think it reached the hair follicles because your body stops producing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know though. Like I said, but I know weed stays in your system for 3 to 4 weeks, and cocaine's 3 to 5 days, and that's a straight fact. 100%.
One thing what gets me is that they've charged this Nate Kamakungan in Roseville for the supplying of one pill that killed this 15-year-old girl, yet nobody's been sought after giving all this to Kiely. It doesn't make sense.
Well, that's what Kate Cooper said. Whoever gave her those drugs and alcohol illegally needs to be charged. Now, also, when you die, you stop metabolizing. So it could, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm just throwing that out there. I saw it in the chat. You guys are super smart.
Shaped stud earring through a piercing in the earlobe. The left ear has a post through the helix, a small ball stud through the upper earlobe, and a crescent moon stud earring through the lower earlobe. Three yellow metal chains are around the neck, one of which has a small colorless stone, one of which has a small constellation-shaped pendant, and the third of which has a small disc-shaped pendant. An open, discolored yellow metal ring is on the left middle finger, and a heavy, darkened yellow metal ring is on the right middle finger. There are 5 bracelets on the right wrist, including a tan elastic band, a black fabric bracelet with a printed logo, a bracelet consisting of multiple black strings bearing a small disc-shaped pendant with an engraved letter, either P or D. The 4th bracelet is a light-colored beaded bracelet, and the 5th is a blue-green elastic band engraved with the lettering Bianchi and Lifetime Sea Otter Classic. The discolored string anklet is around the right ankle. A piercing in the umbilicus bears a white metal curved post with a small ball on one end and a white and orange metal disc on the other end. The orange metal disc portion has a central yellow stone. Engraving around the stone on the orange metal part of the jewelry reads Winchester 38 Special. Evidence of medical intervention, none. External examination. The unembalmed body is that of a slender white female in a state of moderate decomposition. There is generalized sloughing of epidermis, except for portions of plantar skin, which readily separate from the bottoms of the feet and bear multiple toenails.
Hey, Crime, can I say something real
A
quick?
separate submitted segment of the sloughed epidermis.
If so, people, I'm going to address people in the comments. You guys are saying they did a follicle or a follicle test, which goes back 6 months. So let's be real here. Then if they did a follicle test, what you guys are saying, I'm going to explain something. That means none of this is evidence for this case, because that could be old drugs in her system. That's my point. If it doesn't come from your blood, then we don't know if she did it the last 3 days. If it's coming from a hair follicle, that means this drugs, everything on this list could be from 3 weeks ago, for all we know, before she went to the party. That's where I'm coming from, guys. If a hair follicle test is not, they did not use that. If they did every drug she had in her system, they can't prove she took it that night. That's where I'm coming from, guys. You get what I'm saying? Because it goes back to up to 6 months. You can't prove what day she took that drug. If they did a blood test and it was in her blood, then it was the last 3 days.
They didn't mention anything here. Where are we getting hair follicle? I didn't read.
No, all the comments are saying you're wrong. They did a hair follicle. Cocaine doesn't go out your system. Then that cocaine might not have been consumed that night, because the follicle could be up to 6 months. So that wouldn't be on this list, guys, if they weren't for sure she took it that night. That's where I'm coming from, fellas. And that's and everybody want to say I'm wrong. I'm not wrong. I'm pointing out two different options that could happen here. You know what I'm saying, guys? That's all I'm saying. If it was a follicle, it could be old stuff. That's it. That's all I mean. That's all I'm trying to get to. And if it's blood, it could be 3 days.
Well, look, Brooks, I'm gonna step down. I'm gonna take my doggies out.
Mackenzie, I did look online. I have this problem, so I know I've done a lot of research on this. I did it for 10 years, cocaine, so I know this. So you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to help you guys out with both. You guys asked and said it could be a follicle. If the follicle was done, then you can't pinpoint what day she did the drugs, because it can be up to 6 months old. That's where I'm coming from. If they did a blood test, they can pinpoint it. She probably did it that night, because her blood was diluted at a higher point, because she died with it in her blood. That's where I'm coming from.
I'm just not hearing anything in, because I'm not going to go into anything medical here, because I don't want anybody go anywhere and say, we were given medical advice or anything.
Oh, no, I was just answering the questions in the chat.
Oh, no, not
the
you.
The basics, 1 to 3 days, and if it's a follicle, it's up to 6 months. So we don't know how they tested it.
I don't see anything in the report saying how. I don't see anything in there. I saw that it was her liver that they tested, so I don't know.
Me either. I'm not trying to push no narratives. Just know that, guys. I'm just going off facts of what's facts is if they did the one test, it's up to 6 months. If they did the blood test, usually it's 3 to 5 days, and that's on any medical website that you can ask any doctor. That's just basic common sense.
Pale gray green to dark
No, you're fine. And I think what it comes down to, basic common sense is
pattern is discernible. A strong
none
odor
of this
decomposition
should have been in her
surrounds the remains.
system, period. She's a 16-year-old girl. Somebody should be in trouble for supplying drugs and alcohol to a minor. She would not be dead. I think we can agree on that.
No postmortem insect activity is present. The subject is normocelophilic. Normocelophilic. Let's see what that means. Having normal show loss of surface. Let's pronounce this correctly. Epithelium, but are otherwise unremarkable. The neck has a slender, symmetrical exterior contour without evidence of injury. The cervical spine is easily mobilized due to decomp, but is palpably stable. The larynx and trachea are palpably midline. The chest is symmetrical and the chest wall is palpably stable. The breasts are normal, developed adolescent female without palpable masses. The abdomen is slightly distended due to post-mortem tissue gas formation, but has a symmetrical exterior contour and shows no evidence of external injury. The external genitalia are normally developed adolescent female with closely trimmed pubic hair pattern. The speculum exam reveals no evidence of intraoral or vaginal trauma. There appears to be a cervical cap type device within the vaginal vault. The perianal skin shows discoloration from decomp and is otherwise unremarkable. The upper and lower extremities are symmetrical and normally developed and show no apparent external trauma. An area of postmortem change on the left wrist at the radial side is about 4.5 centimeters by 1.5 centimeters, where there's a splitting of the exposed dermis, which exposes underlying soft tissue. So we know she had that from a recent surgery, that scar on her left wrist. The margins of this area are smooth, and the area is consistent with the dehiscence of a surgical scar. There we go. There is no discoloration suggestive of antemortem hemorrhage. Epidermis from both hands has been previously lost from decomp along with fingernails. The toenails have also separated with the macerated and slawed plantar skin from both feet. The back is symmetrical and the spine is palpably stable at the midline. There's no visible trauma on the back. Now they have the tattoo. A small stippled tattoo of the number 17 is on the lateral right hip. There is a vaguely defined longitudinal linear surgical scar on the ventral left wrist. Postmortem radiographic scan demonstrates an orthopedic plate and multiple screws in the distal left radius. There's no apparent blunt or penetrating injury seen externally. Postmortem radiographic scan of the whole body also demonstrates no evidence of acute skeletal trauma. Internal evidence of injury, none. Opening, incision, and body cavities. So they're going through the standard Y-shaped thoracoabdominal incision reveals subcutaneous fat thickness of 1.3 centimeters at mid-abdomen. So that's very, very thin. All the surfaces are smooth, no excess fluid or body or blood is found in the body cavities. The internal organs are normally arranged. Neck organs, anterior soft tissues of the neck show discoloration from decomp, marked softening, no apparent strap muscle hemorrhages. The hyoid bone and laryngeal cartilages show no fractures. The cervical spine is grossly intact. Her heart weight, 90 grams, appears normally formed. Epicardial surface is smooth with normal fat distribution. Myocardium is softened, moderately decomposed, light brown red, no obvious myocardial lesions. The ventricular walls appear relatively normal in thickness, and the cardiac chamber is normal in size, considering the state of preservation. Surfaces, valves show light staining from decomp. Everything is looking normal. The right lung weighs 100 grams. The left lung weighs 110 grams. Isn't that different? It's amazing how our bodies can be different on each side. Lungs light maroon to gray tan. Lung moderately decomposed. No apparent lesions. Prominent tissue gas formation distorts the architecture of both lungs. Apparently no airway obstruction. Arteries appear normally developed. A lot of normal formation. The esophagus and stomach are patent, continuous, and normally developed. Stomach contains a trace amount of food material consistent with small fragments of peas or beans. Gas bloating, otherwise unremarkable. You can go through and read all these details, but I'm giving you the highlights. The liver weighs 400 grams, appears normal in shape, diminished in size from decomp, capsule intact and smooth, gallbladder normally formed, right kidney weighs 50 grams, left kidney weighs 70 grams. So that's it. A diva cup was found in the upper vaginal vault. Small amount of menstrual fluid, so that's just everything looks normal. I guess that proves that Kiely wasn't pregnant, apparently, and the spleen weighs 40 grams, appears normal. The thyroid is severely decomposed and difficult to identify. Adrenals are markedly softened from decomp. Just a lot of decomp there. Otherwise, everything looks pretty normal. Reflection of the scalp reveals light maroon staining of the deep scalp tissues, predominantly on the right side, consistent with lividity under the effects of decomp. Brain weighs 1,000.
Okay, so that's everything. I'll play it in the background. Did I miss something with the lungs? I'm not a doctor here. Do we have a doctor or a nurse in the house? Anybody? Granted, I'm very, very tired. I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning and I'm about to die and I want to go to bed. But don't you have to have a bunch of fluid in your lungs to drown? What am I missing here? And no, I'm not trying to stir anything up. I'm just asking, did I miss something? Before I go back to it, did I miss something? Did I zone out for the whole lung thing? Anybody? Anybody? There's the link. Where the hell's the lungs?
The hyoid bone and laryngeal cartilages show no fractures. The cervical spine is grossly intact. Her heart weight 90 grams, appears normally formed. Epicardial surface is smooth with normal fat distribution. Myocardium is softened, moderately decomposed. Light brown red, no obvious myocardial lesions. The ventricular walls appear relatively normal in thickness, and the cardiac chamber is normal in size, considering the state of preservation. Surfaces, valves show light staining from decomp. Everything is looking normal.
Okay, Plunder. I guess Plunder's reading it. She's like, everything's looking normal. Rowena, what am I missing? Did you hear anything about the lungs? I zoned out or something. How did I miss that? Rowena.
Sorry, I was on mute, and I can hear you kind of low body because I got my stupid earbud in. All I heard was the description of the exterior portion of the lungs. That doesn't tell me what's inside the lungs in the alveoli, the little pockets, that you have that come on, your lung tissue where your oxygen's taken in and changed and all that. So yeah, no, that because when I heard lungs in the description, I was like, okay, we're getting to it, and it dropped.
Hang on, it's on the screen. The right lung weighs 100 grams, and the left lung. I don't care what the shit weighs. The pleural surface.
I'm gonna hop off and hop back on because I can't understand my earbuds stupid. So I'll be right back. Okay.
Hey,
I'll be right back.
Prime lines, real quick. I want to clear something up too about Delta 9, guys. The stimulant Delta 9 is a stimulant for the plant. It is a lot less. This is true too. It's a lot less in potency as regular THC, but the side effects are 10 times worse than regular THC. Heavy paranoia, because it is a different component than THC is, guys. It's a slightly different one from the plant. It's sucked out the plant directly, and there is the side effects are slightly different. So I mean, I'm not giving that the reason, but I mean, I'm just throwing that out there. She could have flipped out or so. I don't know. Like, I don't want to throw no theories, but I know Delta 9 is a lot less strength, but as in side effects, it's a lot worse. It's known to be a lot worse than THC. So it's just something to throw out there because she does smoke a lot of weed. Doesn't mean she smokes a lot of Delta 9. Delta 9 is a certain component.
I'm a little more concerned about a respiratory system with no water in her lungs right now.
No, I am too. And my girl's she's in medical school. She's a medical assistant, and she said that there is dry drownings, but it doesn't make sense for her not to have no water in the lungs if she didn't die before she went in. It doesn't.
All right. Rowena, can you see on the screen? Can you see it?
Yeah, 1 second. Hold on.
I mean, I can read. I've got reading comprehension. am I missing something? I mean, I've reports before.
I was listening to her read it. I'm reading it real quick. No. I'm not seeing it. Tissue gas formation distorts the architecture. Okay. I want to hear how much water. How did they? The only way that you can say that somebody drowned, okay, is if they had that they drowned and that was their cause of death. Is if there is water in the lungs. Mm-hmm. And the only thing I see is that they're smooth, they're discolored, which of course they would be. No airway obstruction. The pulmonary, there's nothing there about anymore. This is the biggest. Sorry. I'm so. No. I don't see anything about water. So.
See anything about water? I mean, I've never drowned before, but I would think that the water would still be in your lungs.
And let's say that somebody, does drown. You pull them out, you do CPR. They would be alive and they would have fluid in their lungs because they breathed in the water, which caused the drowning. It says nothing about water, just the exterior anatomy and what they found as far as looking, feeling, but I don't know. I'm not an examiner.
Like crime lines, I'm not trying to state the Delta THC. People got mad about that. I'm just saying if she started freaking out or something and something could have happened.
No, just my jaw dropped when I'm sitting here reading this about the respiratory system. No, hun, you're fine.
That's why I think that maybe she freaked out on some of the stuff she was on, and they, or she overdosed. I mean, it's not from the Delta, obviously. The Delta and THC, you're not overdosing, but the other things, maybe the alcohol. I mean, you go to respiratory failure before she went in the water. But that means she died in within a 15-second hit, because when she was driving, that you count the time. If she died while she was driving out and went to the water, that means it's only like a 30-second difference, right? Then maybe that's why her car stopped for a second. I mean, I don't know. It's weird. It's totally weird. I'm looking up stuff as I go, and it doesn't make sense.
The only thing, I just can't get over the lungs. Brooke, I'm right with you. When she started talking about the external, because I'm not looking at my phone. I'm in my garage trying to kill myself with Gorilla Glue spray. We
didn't do that.
So yeah. So I wasn't looking. I was listening to her read it, and I thought, okay, great, okay, good. Yeah, I don't care about her liver, don't care about her heart. Young girl, good heart. Let's get to the lungs. And yeah. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not a medical examiner. I don't play one on television or YouTube. I'm just a little RN, but I don't know. I've never heard of a case where they rule it as a drowning and there's nothing. I mean, did they ever say during this autopsy that, okay, they looked at everything? Did they did a pelvic? Okay. Did all that. Did they ever open these organs, these lungs, to see if the alveoli, the alveoli, I can't, I'm going to say areola in a minute, and that ain't it. If they're blown or not. You see what I'm saying? If they were filled with water, okay, to me, I could be wrong, but just thinking anatomically, physiology, there would be water in the bronchioles, the trachea, and the alveoli would most likely be blown. See what I'm saying? They would fill up so much with water. That's why, okay, like you can blow a lung or drop a lung is what they say, or but like from a car accident, okay, or a rib or some kind of trauma, to where your lung has been compromised. Okay, if you look at the alveoli, those are in that area. Those are going to be like blown out. Okay, to where that's why they put people on ventilators and chest tubes to let that heal so they can breathe. To me, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't agree with this at all.
Can I ask you something? You're a nurse, right? What about possibly dry drowning, where it doesn't go, the water doesn't get into your lungs, it just gets into your larynx?
Dry drowning is such a it's such an oddity. I don't know. I mean, I have no clue about dry drowning. I know what happens. I don't know physiologically what happens to your body.
Yeah, I just throwing that out there so we could see, it's a possibility, very small, but it happens very rarely. But the dry drowning the water does not get to your lungs, and you drown water. It gets into your larynx and you choke on it pretty much. You die right there instantly.
Right.
But so it's just something to think about.
Yeah, I mean, and you know what? To me, this case, anything is a friggin' possibility. I can't say that I'm shocked. I, honest to goodness, cannot say that I am shocked by this. I'm shocked that I just kept waiting for I was like, okay, we've described the lungs, then it just kind of went on. And I was so glad Brooke said something because, like I said, I'm spraying glue, and I thought, am I high? Did I miss something? Because I was just going to rewind it. But, I'm sorry.
This whole thing's crazy. So there'll be a report soon that I can print out and we can read and go through it. Nothing against what Plunder's doing, but that's, go and view it on her channel, definitely, because we use part of it on here.
Right.
Of course, the interview room. I finally found the spot where Adventures with Purpose was talking about when they're how they're going to release the video, that whole thing. They might just leave it all alone. I'm sure it's been such a headache for them. I hope they do release the other 90%. I just don't want them to be made out to be bad people if they choose not to.
Yeah, it's kind of like they're damned if they do, they're damned if they don't. If they do, law enforcement's going to be pissed. Okay, if they don't, the public's going to be pissed. So it's like, it's kind of like, I wish they would. I mean, I don't know, the whole insinuation that it was Jagger, and it's like everybody thought it. It's like, don't put that out there, because it's like but it's like, why did they clear? Excellent point. Why did they clear Jagger? Clearing from what? Holding her head underneath the water? What?
Yeah, exactly.
It's ridiculous. Oh, I'm so mad. Oh, sorry.
Well, it's been a hell of a day. We had to do this press conference about
more than I had my husband.
And that show got crazy because that lady was in there calling me a liar, and I'm like, no. This is the chief of police talking. I don't know these people. This is just, she said, law enforcement doesn't have Twitter pages, and I'm like, yes, they do use them. So we had and now this doesn't make any sense. We'll go back through it on another show, though, because I've kept you guys for 2.5 hours, and I've been up a long time. I feel like I've had that cocktail myself. I've been up a long time.
Go to bed.
Something here doesn't
I'm
make
going to look up some stuff tonight because I'm like, now it's driving me nuts. So I'm going to look up some stuff, too. And just...
Okay, well, let me know what you find. You're in Discord, right, Rowena?
Yeah.
Oh, of course you are.
Definitely. Yeah. Thank y'all so much.
Those of you that aren't in Discord, if you want to come in and you want to chat with us between shows, send me an email and I'll send you a link and come in and chat with us between shows. Now, I have been getting a few emails of people saying, well, I don't chat much. Well, I mean, it's a server to chat in. So, it goes without saying that, it's for chatting. Yeah. We don't want anything personal about you. So, and it's not even about cases that we cover. There's a football room. There's a
recipe.
We got Lone Wolf Runs the Weather Room. We got all kinds of stuff going on. You think of the topic. If we don't have the room, we'll make one. I'm telling you, we will. So in the meantime, I'm going to start shutting this down and be ready for tomorrow. And we will have another show tomorrow. And we got a lot of stuff to talk about, man.
Thank you, Brooks. And thank you, UFC. And just everybody be safe. Okay. Just be safe.
All right, Rowena. See you on the Discord,
Okay. Bye-bye.
Hey, UFC, thanks for all your input on this. And sorry, everybody, it was kind of sloppily thrown together, but this just came out on KCRA. So I apologize. But anyway, we'll go back through it and try to make sense of all this and agree to disagree. And at the end of the show, we're still friends, right?
Yep. I appreciate you, Brooks, and everybody in here. Remember, everybody on the panel, me, the nurse, I forgot her name. Anybody else who comes on, everybody has their own opinion, and don't take it out on the host. Like I said, we're all just throwing our opinions together and trying to find out what happened. I appreciate you, Brooks. On the way out, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, guys.
That's right. Thank you so much. And actually, you can take it out on me. I kind of enjoy it because I make examples out of those people. We don't need to take it out on each other. And I'm just like you, Charles. What the hell? This is nuts. This is nuts. That's okay. We'll figure it out. We always do. Not our first rodeo, right? We've been doing this for quite a while. So you all have a very nice evening. Have a nice dinner. Find a cool movie to watch. Get your mind off all this insanity. And I will see you back here tomorrow morning. You guys are awesome. You are the best. Thanks. Bye-bye.